Okay. Hopefully that's not too windy, but hopefully you can also hear me. All right. Today's a lucky day. I got myself a bike share e-bike. Got that pedal assist going. It's real nice. Just cruising. Gotta love it. So, yeah. I didn't really come up with a plan for what to talk about today. Figured get on the bike and maybe it would come to me. I don't know. I guess if I can't think of anything else, just talk about myself for now. You know, I've been on my own mind a lot lately. You know, I'm doing a master's right now, and part of that process, I'm trying to do a lot of journaling. Trying to do a lot of things, actually. You know, obviously trying to learn and study and whatever's in the classes and everything, but I think I kind of, especially this last semester, kind of took it upon myself to really, yes, do well in school, but also focus on myself a bit as a project, you know? So part of that, like I said, I've been journaling. For that process involves, I learned about Obsidian. If you haven't heard of Obsidian, it's a note-taking app. It's free, it's open source. One of the big things about it that really drew me to it was that you store your files locally. They're just simple markdown files, kind of a version of like a .txt, but allow for a little more formatting that plays well with Obsidian. But yeah, you store those locally, so it's not like, I don't know, something like Notion or Evernote where, you know, if the company goes under or something, you lose all your database of knowledge and all your notes and your journals and everything. So I took up Obsidian, and I kind of just use it every day for everything. But, you know, I found I was having, especially being in school, I'd have a lot of ideas, a lot of thoughts, interesting things would come to mind. I'd be reading something and make a connection. You know, I wake up in the morning and have this great idea. I don't really dream per se, but like, you know, sometimes that new day inspiration strikes. So I found I was having all these great ideas and thinking about all this stuff, as you do when you're reading a lot and learning a lot. But I found, you know, I'd have these ideas, and it was like a dream. If you don't write it down right away, poof, you forget about it. So picked up Obsidian as a tool just to help me jot down stuff. So what I actually did to make it even easier and seamless, this is something I learned from reading that Atomic Habits book. I didn't read the whole book, but one of the things I got for the first couple of chapters was, you know, making habits easy, right, and seamless. So one thing I did was you know, if you have an iPhone, in the bottom left and bottom right corner of your lock screen, you've got, I think the default is a camera button, like to quick open the camera, and a flashlight button to turn on the flashlight feature. Well, what I did is I actually created a shortcut, because you can do that with Apple products, and I made a shortcut that like opens up the Obsidian database right away and goes directly to a note created specifically for that day. So every day when I open Obsidian, it creates a new note with the title of that day. That's where I've been doing most of my writing and journaling, right? So like as things come to me, I don't even have to unlock my phone. I hit that quick button on the lock screen to go straight into Obsidian. I just start typing right away, and that's been an absolute lifesaver for me, and my journaling, and my thought process, and I still forget so much of what I think about, all these great ideas. But if they've been written down, one, writing them down somewhere, helps you solidify them, work through them, probably helps with recall later on. But two, I can go back and look at all these notes, shuffle through day to day, and look at about all these thoughts that I had, or even search them. Obsidian's got a search feature. And so, I don't know, a lot of people in the academic world are using Obsidian, it seems like, for all their academic notes, readings, class notes, all that stuff. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But like, why not just use it for everyday notes too, like about my life? So that's something I started doing, and it's been a big lifesaver. And if you're like me and you think a lot, but you also forget a lot, I don't know, maybe something to give a try. Look it up, Obsidian. There's lots of tutorials out there. It's free, easy. Yeah, it seems a little overwhelming at first. I didn't quite understand what it was all about, but just take all your notes in there, and it's one place to keep them all together. I mean, there's lots of other tools to do the same or similar things, but for me, Obsidian is working really well right now. So, plus it's free, open source, and you've got local control of your files. So that's a big plus. Another thing, actually, before I got into Obsidian, I discovered Zotero, another very popular thing in the academic world. And Zotero is a citation manager software. So basically anything you come across, I think probably the ideal way to work it is anything you read, you put a link to it in there, and it's kind of just a place to manage everything that you've read. You can easily pull up citations. You can make annotations on PDFs in the software. Super handy. It's kind of like building your own personal library, especially, for academic purposes, being able to quickly go back, look up pages that you've marked up, highlighted. You can make notes in there and then easily get citations out of it. It's been pretty great. But I've kind of been using it not so smart, and just as a dumping ground for everything I come across. Oh, buddy. Oh, thank you. Yeah, just using it as a dumping ground for everything I come across. So I've kind of got my Zotero sorted, especially when I wasn't totally sure what the focus of my MRP thesis work was going to be. I was casting a net far and wide, finding all this stuff that might be interesting or pertain to what I'm looking at. For those who know, I'm doing a master's in digital media, looking in, so the field of digital media, digital art, social media, stuff like that. So I was casting a net real far, real wide. So I've got a lot of stuff in there that I haven't even read or looked at. Maybe I glance the abstract or the book summary, found it interesting. But but I've got it set up. So I've got a ton of stuff that I haven't looked at. And then I've got two folders. One's called Read and one's called Want to Read. So I've got the top of my reading list in the Want to Read. And once I've read something, I move it over into the Read folder. And that's how I'm keeping track of it all. But if you're a student, doing your undergrad or master's or postgrad or whatever, if you're not using Zotero, probably be a really useful tool. So highly recommend checking that out. On your left. Oh, jeez, buddy. So Zotero is another thing that I picked up in the last while. And also, another big focus of mine. So I said, especially this semester, this new year, 2025, kind of working on myself as a project. really trying to be productive, trying to get shit done, not be lazy. So I'm really trying to structure my time. I just do that with the calendar app on the phone and kind of make a plan every day. I have my alarm set for 7 a.m. I wake up, I've got every day blocked in. I give myself an hour and a half to drink coffee and read whatever I want to read. Try and read academic stuff, but sometimes I just read the news or even scroll social media. I try and avoid that because, the algorithms can be a huge suck. Oh man, why would you do that, guy? But yeah, so I give myself an hour and a half to do coffee and read, and then I go into usually about 2 hours of what I call deep work, where I usually pull out the laptop and try and do some writing. I also try to do my little bit of journaling during that coffee reading time. Maybe I'll do a little meditation, just some breathing meditation. I've always really been into meditation, yoga. I think I started doing that when I was like 15. I went with my friend's family owned a yoga studio, so I got into yoga and then meditation through them. So that's always been a part of my life. Keeps me sane. That's why I like to do these little reminders to breathe while we're on the bike. So yeah, then I get into deep work. I found the Pomodoro technique has been really helpful, where you use timers. You set a timer for 25 minutes and you just go hard on your work for 25 minutes. And then, oh, that was bad of me. Whoopsie. You go hard for 25 minutes on your work. And when that timer goes off, you set another one for 5 minutes. Take a 5-minute break, get up, stretch, do a little breathing. I don't know. Take a chance to look at your phone, whatever. But you do it for 5 minutes, and then you go right back to another 25-minute timer, deep work. And for me, someone who's always kind of struggled with focus and procrastination and whatnot, that's something that I discovered that's really helped me out. So I try to do that, do like 2 hours of that, and then take a break, and then go work out. Because that's another really big thing. I've been working on my mind, my productivity really hard, but don't want to forget about my body. So I really try to put in a lot of work with exercise. Like already bike a lot every day, but I want to do even more than that. So I also run. Went for a 7K this morning. Sometimes I swim. Usually at least one day a week I try and get to the pool and go for a swim. And sometimes I like to mix in other things, like I said, yoga, sometimes stretching, sometimes lift some weights or do some calisthenics. And yeah, pretty proud of myself, keeping fit. It's been nice. We're gonna get fitter. Thinking about maybe signing up for a triathlon this summer. We'll see. I don't know. But anyways, we're almost there, so I'm gonna wrap this one up. And yeah, I can't believe that was 20 minutes already. Holy smokes. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. You're lovely. And love ya. Bye.